Hi guys, this is Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today we're taking a look at another knife by Sanrenmu. It's a Backlock knife. This one is the GR4-785. And with this model, it's actually an older model by Sanrenmu. The first set of letters changes, and they all end with -785. Comes in three colors, this red, a blue, and a black. Thin G10, Backlock knife, black coated, full flat grind blade, clip point, very stubby, and a locking knife. I get three solid fingers gripped here and my thumb. I've got large hands, border on extra large. That's between 10 and 11 in the European sizes. And this knife just fits in my hand very well as a great little EDC knife. It's just a little bit less than the 3-inch or 7.6 centimeter rules that some people have to live with. But it is a locking blade, so there you go. If you're interested in a very cool, small backlock knife, stick around for this review. First off, the steel on this blade is 8CR13 MOV. This is old enough that it merely says stainless steel on the blade. When I took it out of the package, I'm not sure if you watched the unboxing video, the plastic that was holding this in place had already yellowed. I'm very glad that GearBest got a bunch of these knives from some old stock somewhere and got them to sell. The price is really good on these, and it's a nice little knife. 8CR13 MOV is a reasonable Chinese steel, especially for the price point that this is selling at. Very thin blade, and cutting edge is quite sharp. Very, very sharp tip on this knife. The handle is a very simple handle. Nice sort of sweeping, flowing back design. The backlock comes up, and it's very easy to actuate the backlock on this guy. You just have to press down right there. It's not a hidden dimple that you have to sort of push in or something. And then you've got a space back here that has your elongated hole for a lanyard, should you choose to do that. And when you close the knife, it hides in place quite well, and you've got this sort of quarter moon shaped hole to open the blade up if you want to, and you can do that easily with your thumb, or you can do it two hands as well. Either way, doesn't really matter. Pocket clip that's on this knife, I'm not too fond of. A pocket clip is right side, tip down only. It's a fairly large pocket clip for the size of the knife, and it's designed for this side knife. Even if they put holes on the other side, the way the clip curves, it wouldn't be able to work on the other side. They'd have to make a second clip. The clip is very functional. It's got nice retention. It holds well. It's got that folded over edge right there, so it's not a sharp point when you've got your hand on it. It doesn't make any hot spots in the hand. So it doesn't really get in the way for that kind of thing. I'll show you right now how deep it sits in the pocket, because I don't want to use this knife with the pocket clip, but some of you might. And that's how it's going to look in your pocket if you use the pocket clip. You've got about 13 millimeters sticking out. That's 1.3 centimeters, just over half of an inch, just barely over half of an inch of the knife sticking out of your pocket. And again, you could have this in blue or black instead of the red. And in black, it would sort of hide in your pocket a whole lot better. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go get out my Torx drivers, and this is all Torx everywhere, which is good. And I'm going to take off this pocket clip and show you how I use this knife. I take the pocket clip off, and I put this small split ring on the back of this lanyard hole. You can use it for a lanyard if you want to. And now I clip it onto my keychains. If you want to see my video about this keychain system, I'll put it up in this corner right here, put a card up here, and you can press that link and watch that video. Now the weight is a little bit less as well, and I'll share that later on with the video, but I use these little carabiner clips like that, and just simply able to take the knife off when I want to use it, use the knife to do whatever I want to do, close it back up, clip it back on. As you've seen in other videos of the really small keychain knives that I carry, sometimes the split rings can go over top of the end of the handle and get in the way of the blade when it closes, and then you actually nick your blade. With this design, there's no way that's going to happen unless you put in a split ring here that's way too big. You could even put a smaller split ring on, but this 9 or 10 millimeter one works just fine. That's right around 1/2 inch split ring. I buy mine at Amazon. I buy the rest of this kit, this round ring here, and these carabiner clips at GearBest. And so then I carry it that way. So there you go. Let's talk about all the rest of the materials on here. Rockwell hardness of this 8CR13 is right around 57. They're all black coated, and this black coating is fairly durable. It hasn't come off yet. And then again, I'm not using these small knives in a very rough kind of usage. I'm quite gentle with them, so that's not a problem at all right there. You've got a clip point here, I mentioned, all belly, all the way down. There are washers inside here, but I'm not taking apart this backlock to show. Well, maybe I will. Yeah, I'll show you a picture of the inside of this backlock. I'll post it right now. There's no blade play with this knife. It's nice and solid. The lock holds very firmly. It's your old traditional style backlock. The backlock spring holds the blade in place when it's closed, and that holds very well. A good amount of force, detent force to hold it closed, so it'll stay closed when you're not using it. I should also say that when the blade is closed, the alignment there is very good. So now it's time to talk about the dimensions of everything here. So we'll zoom in. The cutting edge, it's all that silver stuff you can see right there behind that sharpener's choil, which I really like as well. 6.27 centimeters, which is 2.47 inches. The blade length, so from the handle to the tip, 6.55 centimeters, which is 2.58 inches, well within the bounds of 3-inch or 7.6 centimeter laws. The blade thickness is 2.36 millimeters, 0.093 inches. The thickness of the edge behind the grind. Okay, and the handle length is 9.06 centimeters, which is 3.57 inches. The grip area, so just after this little bit of a finger guard there and across there, is 7.1 centimeters, which is 2.8 inches. The handle thickness, not counting where the screws are protruding, just G10 to G10, is 9 millimeters, which is 0.353 inches. Total length of this knife with the blade deployed is 15.4 centimeters, exactly 6 inches, well, very close to 6 inches. It weighs 73 grams, 2.6 ounces. If I take the pocket clip off, now it is 69 grams and 2.4 ounces. The price of this knife at GearBest, it's a very good deal. US dollars, $9.69, Canadian dollars, $12.28, euros, 8.35, and pounds, 7.39, and there is a small shipping fee included, added to this as well. With GearBest, if you buy 2 or 3 knives, your shipping fee stays very much the same. It just increases a tiny bit, a few pennies. So it's less per knife if you get 2 or 3 knives. So consider that when you're buying these knives. If I've got a coupon code to give you that you can use at GearBest, check it out in the description below. The links for this knife will be there, and the coupon code will be listed there as well. So fit and finish on this knife, I'm calling it between excellent and very good. It's not quite to the excellent level, but very good fit and finish. It feels really good. All the liners here are nicely rounded and everything. There's some nice skeletonizing inside on those liners, and I'll show you those. The blade, the coating on it is even, and it's, consistent throughout, and that's very good. really good job with the back spacer spring here, the lock arm, I should say, and the pivoting spring that they put in there. Good screws. You know, I like this finish here on this screw instead of having screws on both ends that you had to do. By the way, this is not Torx. These are Allen screws or hex screws. So that's how old it is. Sanrenmu basically uses Torx screws exclusively now. So, you know, there you go on the fit and finish. It's a good user knife. Let's see how it looks when we actually go to use it. So in hand, grab it like this. You can sneak up a little bit. Let's see if I can show it. If you're really careful, you can get your index finger up like that and away from that cutting edge just by that choil. I've done that a few times safely, but I have also ended up putting my finger too close, and I've not cut myself yet. That's a work treatment that I'm getting right there. Haven't cut myself yet, but I think it's safer to keep your hand behind there or to use it, you know, in this kind of hold, even sneaking up and doing a pinch grip where your middle finger and your thumb get around the blade and your index finger goes up here on the spine. But let's cut some paper and see if how thick this blade is a problem. Nope, like I've told you lots of times, the thickness of the edge behind the grind is not a very significant factor when you're cutting paper. But it can get in the way when you're doing other stuff. So let's cut some paracord that we have here. So we've got 4 layers of paracord here and zipped right through them all. The paracord, you can cut it by slicing. Cuts really well. This is 7-strand paracord. It cuts very easily, just one off. You can go straight down and cut it. The blade is very sharp from the factory, even after all these years of it sitting in storage, and it cuts just fine. No issues at all. You can even use it on wood, and it does an okay job there. You know, if this is the only knife you had, oh, I was going off the screen there. You can easily get a lot of really fine fire starting curls with your wood. Not a problem there at all. No, there's no place on here to strike a ferro rod. This isn't a bushcraft knife, but I just wanted to show with wood that it does cut okay. Now let's see how it does with some fruit. You know, there's a lot of reviewers that never do cut tests, but I like to oblige my viewer requests. It's not quite long enough to cut through that. Slices through an apple quite well. Very smooth cuts on here indeed. So there you have it. Nice knife, looks good, cuts well, reasonable steel, locking blade under the 3-inch limit that a lot of people look for. Only thing I didn't really like was the pocket clip, but the functionality of the pocket clip is right there. It works just fine. I just didn't like the looks of it. What do you think of this knife? Put that in the comments below. What do you think of this video? If you like the video, even if you don't want the knife or like the knife, please click on the thumbs up. Please share this video with your friends. We're getting close to doing our big giveaway that we're planning. We're planning to do a big giveaway when we get to 2,500 subscribers. And that event will start as soon as we hit 2,400. And so look forward to that. Thanks for leaving a comment, leaving a question, anything, just say hi, whatever. And remember, when you're using a knife, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.